What do you think is the single most important thing that President Obama can do to help move the United States forward?
One thing has already happened, that the American people have rejected the meanness, ignorance, and pride of the last 8 years in this election. I think that immediately sends a message around the world that, because there's a distorted picture of what the United States is like, and sometimes it's distorted, sometimes it's less distorted. But the fact that however many, 100 million people get out and vote for Barack Obama, that sends a message around the world that we're not all mean, ignorant, and prideful, or that that those who voted for Bush have maybe repented. Right. Some of them have repented over the course of the last 8 years. But we'll see. I think that improving the nation's sort of standing, I think that could have a domino effect, with regards to human rights, with regards to the environment. And this is going to be an administration that is not going to be exclusive. It's going to be inclusive. At the same time, it's not a magic wand. And there have been plenty of Democratic administrations that have been guilty of war crimes. There are plenty of, around the world, there are plenty of black presidents who have been guilty of, corruption. It's a wonderful step for the United States, but at the same time, I'm not going to fight any less hard for the things that I believe in just because Obama's president.
It's so interesting because I see so many similarities between the two of you, even just in your personal background. You both have fathers from Kenya.
We were at Harvard at the same time.
Totally.
From Illinois.
Illinois, white mothers in white neighborhoods. He's now president. You're very political. Would you take a desk job?
We've both been on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Would you do it? Would you go for
it's not
political office one day?
No. The thing that when I worked for Senator Cranston, it really, I got to see what it was like to work in the world of Democratic politics, and I think there was a perfect example of why that's not for me. One day a lady calls up the office and she's complaining because there are Mexicans moving into her neighborhood. So I listen to her for a while and I go, "Ma'am, you're a racist and you can go to hell." She's aghast and apparently calls my superior back. I get yelled at for 4 days, like from everyone up the whole ladder. And it dawned on me, like, if I'm in a job where I can't tell racists to go to hell, I'm not in the right job. The one thing I like about music is you can always be, at least in my career, I've always felt that I can be completely unedited and unfiltered and uncompromising, and so I think I'll stick with that.
Well, let me ask you about a line on the Night Watchman record, The Fabled City. You said, and I quote when you sung these words, "I pray that God himself will come and drown the president if the levees break again."
Yeah.
Very strong words.
I mean, that was a sentiment, it's felt throughout New Orleans. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans over the course of the last 3 years since Katrina, and it's very much it was a man-made, it was a natural disaster that became a man-made catastrophe due to the fact that the Bush administration simply did not care about poor black people, and they were the ones suffering. Imagine if the same magnitude of hurricane had hit Beverly Hills or it hit the Hamptons in Connecticut, what the response might have been like. My guess is it would have been dramatically different.
Totally.
And New Orleans is still a wasteland. Hundreds of thousands of people have not been able to return to their communities because the communities are completely gone. And the fact that, the president who presided over that, was at some cocktail party tonight, and the people that, some of the people who live there are in muddy graves, to me seems like maybe it's not maybe that should be switched around.
Totally.
And so I picked up a guitar and just started going to coffee houses and open mic nights. I signed up as the Night Watchman, sang a couple of songs. Even when we were on tour, on nights off, I'd look in the local paper and just go out and play. There's drugs, money, ego, and band girlfriends are the four things. If you've ever been in a band, some combination of those four things is gonna cause stress fracture.